Hey everybody! So welcome back to my channel. As always, it's your girl, Candy Washington. So let's get into what is trending today. So first off, we're going to talk about J.Lo and Ben, the return of Bennifer. After that, we're going to discuss Safaree and Erica Mena. Let's talk about that love and hip hop mess that they have going on. And then after that, we'll talk about Wendy Williams and Gary Owens. Is she really dating him? And let's discuss that awkward interview. But before that, let's say hi to some people. Hi, Akira. Thanks for joining. So everybody, as you're coming in, be sure to like, subscribe, and post a comment so I can give you a shout out. Hey, Akira. Oh, people are coming in. Hey, everyone. Hi, Maya. Hey, Candy. Excited for your live today. Thank you. I'm excited too. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to put on some lip gloss for y'all because you guys are my people and I want to look good for you. Okay, first up, Jennifer Lopez, aka Jenny from the Block, is back with Bennifer, her long-lost ex, after her fiance, A-Rod, was caught yet again cheating with that blonde chick from Southern Charm called Madison LaCroix. So to refresh you guys, in case you don't know about the scandal, Jennifer Lopez was engaged to A-Rod for years. I don't know how many years, but they have been like forever engaged. Madison LaCroix is sort of like a B, C, D-list reality star. She's sort of like a friend of the show, but kind of became a full-time person on Southern Charm. She was dating Austin. So on one of their reunions, it came out that Madison was getting, I guess, inappropriate, you could say, but like sexually charged DMs and texts and FaceTimes from a famous baseball player, which it all came out was A-Rod. So Jenny and A-Rod pretended like they were going to get back together after the scandal. They broke up, got back together, and then they broke up again. And now Jenny is back with Ben Affleck. We all know Ben Affleck has had a bit of a troubled past. He has had drinking problems. He used to be married to Jennifer Garner. Mind you, he dated J.Lo, dumped J.Lo, then got with Jennifer Garner, married her, had a couple of kids, and then they got divorced. He's been to rehab a few times, and he also allegedly has a gambling problem as well. So now she's back together with him. My thing with this is, how come J.Lo can never be alone? This is not woman shaming. This is not slut shaming. It's none of that. But if you think about it, when has Jenny from the Block ever been single after like Selena days? And I don't even know if she was single then. She went from like Diddy, from Puffy to like Casper to Mark Anthony to another Casper to another backup dancer to Ben to all these people. But wouldn't you think that if you were engaged to a man who publicly cheated on you, wouldn't you at least take a beat to be single and to heal and to reflect before jumping into another highly publicized relationship? To me, that screams a woman who fears self-intimacy. I think it's a woman who fears being alone. And I think it's a woman who's very caught up into ego and image. Like, okay, this man did me dirty, but I'm not going to look like a victim here. I'm going to go back and jump into a relationship to show everyone that, like, I'm not hurt. I'm cool. I'm this. I'm bad. To me, it's a woman who's unable to be vulnerable in that space. So what do you guys think? Do you think that's true? Like, is it weird that J.Lo has never been able to be alone? Hey, Miles Kidman. What's up? What's up? Yes. Also, Ben Affleck has a lot of problems as well. Like, he's another one who can't ever be alone. And to me, it just seems like a rebound. But do we think that it's just a stunt? Do we think it's real? Do we think they're actually back together, or do we think this is a stunt for the camera? That J.Lo is about to come out with a new movie, or Ben is about to come out with a new movie, and them getting back together as like Bennifer 2.0, do we think that is just a stunt for the cameras? Because that could be it too. Hey, Big Red. He said, what's up, Candy, at work that I drop in? Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are beautiful. Love the Elam line. Thank you. I love Elam too. I really appreciate that. Yes, thank you, thank you. Let's see who else is in the house. Let's give some shout outs. Onita, Caspa, hey Candy and everyone. I'm finally on time for your live. Yay! Thank you. I'm so excited everyone is here. Yes, we are fam. Not in the Monica way. Don't get it twisted. Not in the Monica from All About the Tea way. Speaking of, did you guys see Schoolboys Live on I think it's called the Ladies Lounge. I don't want to misname anybody's blog, but I think it was called like the Ladies Lounge or the Ladies Who Talk. Schoolboy did an interview with them. I have to go back and watch it. Hi, Carolyn Curry. You're my new favorite. Thank you. You're my new favorite. Yes, yes, yes. Young Rich, hey, ready for the docket? Yes, me too. We are going to get into it. And I'm just saying, I think it's weird that J.Lo has never stood on her own 2 feet. Even though she is an alpha woman, she is super, super beautiful and gorgeous. She is very, very successful, but yet she always kind of has a beta man next to her. That makes sense. Like, I'm not saying Mark Anthony is beta. I'm not saying, like, Ben Affleck is beta. But when you think about it, because Mark Anthony is, like, you know, successful in his own right. So is Ben Affleck. But it's always her at the forefront. Even with Diddy, with how big Diddy was, it still was like, we can't believe J.Lo was with Diddy. And that was, like, a whole thing. But she's never really been alone. And to me, it's really suspect that you go from being engaged, having a blended family, because it just wasn't her and A-Rod, it was their kids. They had a complete blended family. Like, how do you go from blending your children with somebody else's children, this blended family, you're engaged, to literally overnight being like, psych, I'm now in love with Ben. I'm now moving my children from Miami to LA to be with him. So completely uprooting her family. So I'm not saying A-Rod is innocent. I think what he did was dead wrong. And I believe he's been exposed for going into DMs of other people. It never seemed like Jenny was his type. Like, I think to me, he seems more into like blonde girls. Like, he was dating Cameron Diaz. Madison LaCroix is blonde. There was this, I want to say Australian or European newscaster. She was also blonde, and she exposed him on her show. She showed the receipts of A-Rod sliding into her DMs, and she was like, I'm married with kids, A-Rod. Like, miss me with this BS. So who knows? And then A-Rod also came out with a makeup line. Now listen, I am all for men wearing makeup. I am all for a men's makeup line. But at the same time, it kind of makes you squint. Like, really, A-Rod? Like, you're doing a makeup line? And remember, he used to, like, let J.Lo, like, dress him, essentially. So who knows? Like, I'm here for it. I think men should wear whatever they want to wear, whether it's makeup or not. But at the same time, you kind of have to, like, squint a little bit. But yes. Hi, Maya Maya. Always in a relationship. Yes, she is. She stays in a relationship. And I really think it's unhealthy. Young Rich, I'm kind of the same way, to be honest. I move on very quickly. Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm not knocking her, because the truth is a lot of people are that way. But you have to take a step back sometime and think, why? What is the fear? What is the fear of getting out of a relationship and then taking time to be by myself and taking time to heal? What is the fear behind that? Because to me, even if you want out of a relationship, even if you're the one who is like, I'm over this, like, I'm out, there is some type of grace period where you still have to heal, unless you did that in the relationship but you were in it, but you were mentally and emotionally out of it, maybe. But I don't know. I just always kind of squint when people so quickly go from one relationship to another without taking that little grace period to heal. That's all I'm saying. Or so even like just to reflect, like, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? What can I do differently next time? You know, what am I going to bring? What version of me am I going to bring to the new relationship? You know, what am I going to change? So I think that's really more of what it was. Hey, Sasha T. Maybe the girl just likes to have a 24/7 hunch party. LOL. Okay, So for that, let me tell you this. I do not, I don't even like to say the word slut shame because I think that is even in itself demeaning. I think anybody should do anything they want with whoever they want, how often they want. That is your choice. To me, it's always about intentionality. Am I doing this because I'm escaping pain? Am I doing this because I'm fearful of being alone? Am I doing this because I think that this is love? You know what I mean? So to me, it's always about the intentionality. Like, are you sleeping with people because you're trying to fill a void? Or are you sleeping with people because you authentically like, this is just fun and this is what I want to do. I'm going to live my life. To me, if that's your intention, then yes, do you. But it's like any vice, right? Are you drinking too much because you're trying to escape? Are you using sex to escape? Are you using drugs to escape? Are you using shopping to escape? Are you using any type of disorder? So I think you always want to get to the intentionality of it. And also there is a way to move, right? So you can want to have a 24/7 hunt party, Sasha. Yes, I'm like down with it. I think that was hilarious. But you could also do it discreetly, especially if you're in the public eye. So that to me was another red flag, and why I'm kind of squinting at them like, is this just a PR stunt? Is this just J.Lo always has to be on top? No pun intended. Hey, Young Rich, a lady has knees that a toy can't help all the time. No, I agree with you. Yes. A lady definitely has needs. I agree with that 100%. Hey, Maya. They may have a real connection and see her failed relationship with A-Rod as a chance to finally be together. This is true. This is actually a really good comment that you gave, because I believe she did say in the past that she really loved Ben and she really wanted to be with him, but she thought the fatal flaw was that they went public too quickly and that their relationship was really under this public microscope. And it was like in the heyday of like TMZ and Perez Hilton and like all the tabloids. So she felt that it was all of this pressure put on her relationship under like the public microscope. But that goes to my point, right? Where it's like it's about how you move. So if you really think that what broke you up the first time was going public too soon and being under the public eye, then how come now you literally jumped out of an engagement, literally out of A-Rod's bed into Ben's bed publicly? You know what I mean? Like, they weren't hiding from the paparazzi. Like, I'm pretty sure they called them, and like that there was like a staged photo of them kissing that just came out. So if you really feel like Ben is the love of your life and you feel like the reason why you didn't work was because of public scrutiny, why would you now go so public the second time around when you're literally fresh out of an engagement? To me, going public that way would be the last thing I would do. I would keep it under wraps. I would be with him. I would let us do our thing. I would keep it really quiet. And then the next time you hear, we're married. Like, that's what I would do if it was me. Hey, Paige Coleman. She goes, hi, go on my YouTube channel. It's Paige Coleman. It's a scribe. Love you. Okay. Yes, y'all do that. Sasha T. Yes. Hey, Onita. Jenny moves like a man. Man always have a girl on the side if the relationship don't last. I mean, true. That is true. I'm not going to say for all men, but, I have to be real with it. A lot of times men, when they're done with one relationship, they do kind of have another woman kind of hovering in the wings. And that's why sometimes when women have been like waiting for a ring or waiting for the commitment, and then they end a long entanglement or a long situationship, and then the man 2 months later is engaged with kids and a white picket fence. So that is true. That is very true. But just because men move that way, that doesn't mean that it's healthy, and it doesn't mean that it's necessarily right. Because that kind of goes back to how people say how you get him is how you lose him. So if you were that girl waiting in the wings for a man to kind of clean up his relationship, usually 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, however many years down the road, he's doing that same thing to you. You now become that girl where he has somebody else waiting in the wings or somebody else on the side, and you are now looking like Boo Boo the Fool, but you did that. if that man showed that first woman respect, or if he took the time to be by himself and he took that time to heal and he took that time to reflect and to get clear on what he wanted and who he wanted it from, then maybe things will work out differently, right? So yeah, I agree too. Men do move like that, and like that's how Jenny's moving, but I always want to think about what is the intentionality behind it. Hi, Maya. Ladies first panel. Okay, thank you. Yes, it was the ladies first panel that Schoolboy was on, I believe, last night or yesterday sometime. So I need to go back and watch that. But and we can do a live on that. We can talk about Schoolboy's response. Hey, Big Red. She said she loves love. She need a man. Yeah. See, but thank you for that comment, Big Red, because that's what I'm saying. I think she conflates love with having a man. You can have a man, but have a loveless relationship. And you can have self-love without having a man. And I think that's what Jenny's missing. And I think that, you know, sometimes we look at people and we're like, she's beautiful, she's rich, she's successful. Like, of course she has high self-esteem. Of course loves herself. Of course. But that's not true. You can be beautiful and you can be rich and you can have everything in the world and still not love yourself. Still not be comfortable being alone. You know, still not have that inner confidence to say, this relationship didn't work out. I'm going to take a beat, work on me for a minute, and then I'm going to come back out here stronger and better than ever, rather than trying to put on. And I'm not saying that she doesn't love Ben, and I'm not saying Ben doesn't love her. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying the way it appears, rather than trying to have this front and this facade that, you know, sure, my marriage didn't work out or my engagement didn't work out, but I'm still cool. I got Ben. We're flying all over the place. I'm taking my kids from Miami to LA to be with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference there. Like, I would have respected her more and I'm not saying I don't respect her, but I would have respected her more if she would have came out and said, what A-Rod did to me really hurt. He embarrassed me and he hurt me and he betrayed me. And as a woman, I am not going to tolerate that disrespect from any man. And now I'm going to take the time to get my inner glow up. That, to me, I would have respected so much more, because you have so many people, not that celebrities should be role models, but the reality is they are sometimes. And you have so many women looking up to her, and they will see that the way to save face is to jump from one man to another. You know, I would have respected her more if she was just transparent and said, you know what, A-Rod played me and it really hurt. I'm going to take the time to do the work on myself, and I'm not going to let any man disrespect me like that. I would have respected her so much more, and that would have taught other women that it is okay to admit that you are hurt. It is okay to have standards, and it's okay to be alone, and it's okay to work on you first, so that the next relationship you get into, you don't continuously get played, because you're still showing up as that same wounded girl, that same insecure person in the next relationship. You know, that's why people have patterns, because they didn't change. So your partner may change, but if you didn't change, nothing's going to change. Hey, Mellow Drew, because she don't know how to do things on her own, hence why she stole Ashanti's vocals and career. Oh my God, the shade of it all, the shade. Yeah. I mean, I like J.Lo, but I think Ashanti can sing better than her for sure. I don't really think J.Lo can sing that well. To me, I don't really look at J.Lo as a singer. I look at her more as like a personality and more of like a performer type thing. I don't think her vocals are on point. Hey, girl who wants to DJ, she may be codependent. Yes, I think that is a very good observation. I think she is codependent, but that's why I think that she should take the time to go to therapy, and she should really take the time to heal before jumping into another relationship. Okay, guys. Let's see here. Hey, Onita. People need to stop exposing their kids to every relationship. It's messed with them mentally. Exactly. So you literally was in a blended family, and now all of a sudden you are jumping from Miami to LA and you're taking them out of that. That has an effect on children, 100%. 100%. Hey P, hey Candy and crew. Accurate, our new favorite. Yes. Hey Deborah, thank you. Yes. Okay, I think I'm gonna move on from J.Lo and Ben Affleck, but let's get some more comments in really quickly, and then we can move on to some more gossip. Hey, Pinky and DeBrain times 3. Oh, Pinky and DeBrain times 3. Finally got that. Don't judge me, y'all. What women looking up to her? Are you for real? She couldn't teach me about any relationship. I'm with you. I am with you. But that's because I'm the same. Like, I'm agreeing with you. And that's why I think it's so dysfunctional and unhealthy the way she moves in relationship. I agree with you 100%. But you do have some, women, some young girls who do look up to her. She has a big fan base. There are some people who actually really do look up to J.Lo. And they're seeing how she moves, and they're going to think that's healthy when it's really not. You can move on quickly. You can get over things, but there needs to be some acknowledgement that you're grieving the loss of a relationship and you're taking the time to heal. I'm not saying you have to take off a year or anything like that, but some type of humanity behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm saying. Oh, Young Rich. By the way, did you happen to catch the Love and Marriage Huntsville trailer? I saw parts of that. That will be an official recap, because I actually watched that and I really love that. So that is going to be an official recap, and I cannot wait for that one. Okay, guys, so let's move on. Now we're going to talk about Safaree and Erica Mena. The hot mess. That is that couple. The hot mess. Okay, so thoughts. I think that, okay, a little bit of backstory just for everybody who's watching. So Safaree used to, I guess, date or be with Nicki Minaj for 10, 15 years or something like that. And then they broke up. And word on the street is that he actually wrote a lot of her music and a lot of her lyrics and everything like that. Allegedly, I don't know personally, allegedly, but he was actually the talent behind a lot of her lyrics, and he would write a lot of stuff for her. And then they broke up. He was really heartbroken by it. I actually think he may have sued her for either back royalties or back something. Anyway, super, super messy. So then Safaree now joins Love and Hip Hop New York and Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So now he's into that VH1 crew, running around, was hooking up with different people. He at one point had a D pic exposed that was going around. He was going to get a mold of his penis made for sex toys. I mean, when I'm talking about Safaree, I'm talking about someone who does the most. He wears fur coats and chains with no t-shirt. He's a person who does the absolute most, and you can tell he's very, very thirsty for limelight, thirsty for fame. Then you have Erica Mena. She was on Love and Hip Hop New York, and she used to date Rich Dollars. And I don't care what anybody says. I think she's still in love with Rich Dollars. And I don't think that she will ever love anybody the way she loves Rich. And I think that if Rich came to her right now and was just let's actually do this, she would do it in a heartbeat. She also had a lesbian relationship with Sin Santana. They were a really beautiful couple. So she had a relationship with Sin Santana. That broke up as well. And then, of course, she dated other people in and out until she was with Bow Wow. Yes, so she was also with Bow Wow. I believe they were engaged for a bit. So she was with Bow Wow too. She thought she was all this and that. They broke up. And then she hooked up with Safaree. They ended up getting married. They ended up having a kid. Fast forward to now, she's pregnant with their second child. They've filed for divorce multiple times. Now she's saying, I don't want him in the delivery room with me. It's too stressful. And then there's some rumor going around that he has another woman pregnant as well. Allegedly, he came out with some statement that didn't actually debunk it. It was one of those wordplay. I only have one baby about to be born. It was very one of those. So you have one that's 2 months. like, and it was like one of those where it's like he didn't debunk it, but he didn't come out and say it was true. Okay, so what I think is Safaree and Erica is a contract deal. I think they came together and was like, do you love fame? Yes, I love fame too. Do you want to make some money? Yes, I want to make some money too. Do you want to be on TV? Yes, I want to be on TV too. Do you lack integrity and morals? Me, I lack integrity and morals. Okay, let's do this. I think they came together strategically. They wanted to make sure that they would secure a place on these shows and that they would stay in the media's eye because they fight way too much. It's too much, and it's too like publicly they fight, but like they're looking at themselves in the camera while they're like doing their lives and fighting. And like now all of this is coming out right before a new season. To me, it just seems really, really thirsty, and it seems really, really staged. So I'm not sure how much of this drama is like real in their life or whether or not this drama is contrived for the show and for ratings. So let's see what you guys are saying and how you guys feel. Let's see. Hey, AP News, as crazy as it might seem, could J.Lo be suffering from lack of self-esteem? Why not embrace that time for yourself? Yes, that's what we were saying before. I agree with that. I do. I think J.Lo is suffering from self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth and self-love issues. I think she derives her value from other people's opinions of her, other people's thoughts of her, who she's connected to. And I think that in her core, she doesn't feel good enough on her own. And that's why she jumps from guy to guy and relationship to relationship. 100%. Let's see here. Let's get some new comments. Okay, we're on that one. Hey, Keisha, I'm late. How long ago did this start? We started maybe like 27 minutes ago, but you are right on time. Hey, Pinky in the Brain ×3, mental health is real. Yes, mental health is very, very real, 100%. And I think J.Lo is suffering from low self-esteem. I think Safaree and Erica are also kind of suffering from low self-esteem too, in a sense, where they're willing to create morally based lies and drama just to feel relevant and just to stay in the public eye. Like, I don't believe all of these fights. I don't believe all of this stuff. It's way too timely. And then remember when Erica Mena got on Twitter and was like, I literally pregnant, talking about she wants to meet Wendy Williams and like beat her up because her husband didn't do a good enough job. Like, excuse me, miss? And this was really like 3 days before she filed for divorce from Safaree. So it's insane to me. It's insane to me. You are literally pregnant on Twitter, inviting not just another grown woman, but a woman in her like late 50s. Like, how old is Wendy? She's like in her 50s. Who has lymphedema, who has a disease, and she has Graves' disease. So you're literally pregnant on Instagram, asking a woman in her 50s who suffers from 2 different diseases to fight because her husband didn't do a good job enough. Erica Mena, that is garbage. I don't call people garbage, but I'm calling your words and your actions garbage. Who does that? And she literally was only doing that to get her name in the spotlight, to get some type of shine, to get people to talk about her, right? It's insane. It's insane. And then another thing, because remember when Jocelyn came on Wendy Williams, right? So Jocelyn came on Wendy Williams, and she had her whole fake, give me my flowers now, blah, 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 blah moment. And Wendy was just like, whatever, chick, and like threw the flowers at her. And that became such a scandal, and everybody was talking about it. I think Erica wanted to recreate that moment for herself, which shows you right there how contrived it is. Insane. Let's see what you guys are saying. up here. So don't forget to like the video if you like what we're doing. Don't forget to comment. Let's see here. Hey, Mellow Drew, beat up Wendy Williams. There's no way they're going to let that happen. Exactly. Erica Mena didn't want that smoke. She just wanted a moment of shine. She wanted 5 minutes of fame. So she was up there tweeting about, let me come beat up Wendy Williams, even though I'm pregnant, and even though Wendy's in her 50s with 2 different diseases. Like, to me, that's just so disgusting. And, I don't believe in public figure, celebrity or not, you respect your elders. I don't believe in telling a woman who is 20, 30 years older than me, catch me outside. That to me is just ridiculous. And when Wendy Williams has said some foul stuff in the past, but what Wendy said was spot on, and it wasn't rude and it wasn't mean or any of those things. Basically, all she said was, you guys are fighting every other day in the media, and now you're bringing another baby into the situation. Figure it out, clean this up, get your relationship healthy for the child, or consciously uncouple and co-parent in a healthy way. That's my version of what Wendy said. And then literally after Erica said that, she filed for divorce. And now she's pregnant and doesn't want the father of her baby in the delivery room. So there you go. Right there. That just tells you what it is. Hi, Maya. Okay, very public relationship, always running to social media, and she's pregnant baby number 2. So much drama. Exactly. Yeah, Erica's pregnant baby number 2. And now she's putting it out there that she doesn't want him in the delivery room. So not only are you energetically bringing a child into this world, beefing and stressing with the father, but you're also putting it out there forever. What child wants to grow up and read how their parents were beefing and read how their parents didn't get along and all this stuff? To me, they're not thinking about what matters, which is their children. They're just thinking about, how can I stay relevant? How can I keep the blogs talking about me? How can I stay on this show? Hey, Sasha T. Did you see that Monica slammed Marcella with a cease and desist and is threatening to sue her for her interview with Kimpire? Will you talk about this? Wow. That is insane. I heard rumblings of that. I didn't see it, but I will talk about what I know. I'll be very transparent. I haven't seen the whole thing, so this is just me talking about the question you put onto me. I'll do more research and we can do an official live. If Monica really did that, that to me is the most grimiest thing. And if I was Marcella, I would slap her back with defamation lawsuit or do something back to her, because this is insane. How are you going to tell Marcella to cease and desist and sue her for an interview with Kimpire when literally Marcella was just telling her experience and she was telling her truth, right? And didn't Monica get up on there all the time talking about, she's allowed to talk about whoever she wants to talk about, and these are public figures and these are celebrities and blah, 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 blah. Monica is just so dirty. And that just shows you that we were right to believe Marcella, because there is no way that Monica would be slamming her with a cease and desist if she wasn't telling the truth. Because the reason why she wants her to cease and desist is because she doesn't want a truth out there. So right there, that Marcella was being genuine and honest and truthful. And Monica is going to get hers, because you can't keep doing this dirt. Monica, just go away already. You were exposed. You're a narcissistic snake. Nobody wants you here anymore. Take a hint and go. Literally slamming Marcella with a cease and desist. If this is true and you're threatening to sue her, that is so dirty. Over a YouTube interview when everybody already saw how you move. That is insane. Insane. We need to start a change.org to get Monica off of YouTube. I'm telling you, we need to start a petition. It is insane. We need to start a petition. Hey, Maya, Wendy didn't even say anything bad about them. Exactly. Wendy didn't even say anything bad. She pretty much said what everybody else was thinking. She really did not say anything bad about them at all. It was insane and really dramatic, and it was just for show, clearly. Hey, Keisha, at Sasati, she served schoolboy a cease and desist too. So who's next? Plez, the bishop, me, you, everybody else in the YouTube YouTube sphere. Like, who else is she gonna do a cease and desist to? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. She needs to stop. We need to do a change.org to get her off. It's insane. Hey, Young Rich. Point is to stop messing with the Love and Hip Hops. They trash, except for Crooked Lady K. Michelle. Not Crooked Lady K. Michelle. Speaking of K. Michelle, what do you guys think of her new face? I mean, I think it's a lot of Facetune and contouring, but also plastic surgery. I mean, she hasn't come out and admitted it, so allegedly, but her face looked completely different than her. And to me, it's sad. I mean, if you want to get plastic surgery, go ahead. But I think in my opinion, since this is my commentary, in my opinion, I think the way you do plastic surgery is really small increments. You do preventative, you do touch-ups, you do slight things. I think that it should always be under the guise of to enhance your features, not to change your features, if that makes sense. So like maybe if you want to get a nose job, maybe it's just like making it like a little bit thinner, a little bit this way, a little bit whatever, but you're trying to emphasize and enhance your natural features rather than change the structure of your face and your body, if that makes sense. Because to me, I think that all faces, all bodies are beautiful, and we don't have to look like some cookie cutter. We don't have to be, anorexic, stick thin models. No shade to models. I'm not body shaming by any means, but we don't have to be that thin. And then we also don't have to have, stallion donkey booties and big boobs and all this other stuff. I think whatever your natural body is built like, whatever your natural body is, whatever that looks like when you are at your best, when you are eating, a good balanced diet, you're drinking water, you're exercising, not doing anything crazy, not doing anything overboard, not starving yourself, not any of that stuff, not too much plastic surgery. And then, if then you want to do like a nip, a tuck, a this or a that, why not? Do you? But when you literally look like an avatar of yourself, which is what K. Michelle looks like, she looks like an avatar of herself, a cartoon of herself, you've gone too far. And it really sends another message. And it actually goes back to what we're talking about with mental health. There is a thing called body dysmorphia, where you see yourself in such a distorted way that you are willing to go under the knife and distort literally how you look. I think, again, it always goes back to intentionality and your mental health. Hey, Sasha T, at Keisha, that explains why Schoolboy was so careful with her words in the interview last night. Horrible. Yeah, I got to go back and watch that. That's what we're talking about. The ladies' first panel. Schoolboy was on that panel. So, I mean, if she really sent cease and desist to these people, she's doing the absolute most. She's making herself look worse. And to me, it just really screams guilty. Hey, Pinky in the Brain ×3. Fame is the devil. You can move quietly without the negative energy. Exactly. I don't think fame is the devil. I think like that saying says, it's like the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money. It's not fame. It's the unhealthy love of it. And it's the unhealthy pursuit of it. Fame itself is just fame. Money is just money. It's energy. It's a thing. It's what we do to get it and what we do to hold on to it that makes it evil. So yes, I agree with you 100%. 100%. Insane. Hey, Keisha, at Sasha T. Yes, Jay Lee said it right before the interview started. Wow. Monica is out here really sending cease and desist to people just for talking. Insane. Insane. Okay, people, let's see what you guys are saying out here. And while I'm looking for some good comments, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hey, Tamra. Bojangles got next. You guys are insane. You guys are insane. You guys are so, so funny. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys are funny. I love it. Hey, Kimberly Ann. Hey, Candy, new subscriber here. I love your channel. Thank you. I love you too, beauty. I love your lip color. I love your lip color. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Hey, it's Latasha. I saw her post about people just hating on her because she's pretty. All I thought was, I wish she truly felt she was pretty. Maybe then she'd lay off surgeries. You know what, Latasha? I agree with you 100%. And to me, the fact that she would say people are hating on her because she's pretty proves the point. If you are so ego-based that you think people are jealous and hating on you because you're so pretty when your face literally looks completely different, you have a build-a-face. To me, that goes into your own insecurities. You know what I mean? Like for me, okay, say if I went under the knife and I came out and I had a totally different avatar face. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is contour. This is just the lighting. These are angles. You guys just are hating on me because I'm pretty. No, that's delusion. I would just be like, you know what? I did X, Y, and Z. I did it for me. And everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I'm going to keep it pushing. That's when you do something from confidence. When you do it from, I'm doing this for me. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's my face. It's my body. I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks. That's true authenticity. But when you go out here and you clearly had all this surgery on your face and then you want to call us haters because we're literally just commenting on what we see, to me, that shows that you are a bit delusional. And that you are suffering from low self-esteem and that you don't think that you're that beautiful. Mellow Drew says she looks younger. Good work. She does look. See, the thing is, I don't know if she looks younger. To me, she just looks different. And yeah, maybe it's younger in a sense of like she looks like an Instagram filter. So I think it's more like that. Like to me, she looks more like an Instagram filter. Destiny Love. Hey, Destiny Love. Hey, Keisha LL. Right. Unless we see some paperwork, we have to assume that Avatar is lying. Yeah, Avatar is lying. That has already been established. She's nothing but a big liar. K. Michelle said it was a face app. I thought it was Taraji at first. Well, you know what? I hope it was a face app. But no. Okay, listen. She's saying it was a face app, but again, the face app will change your actual features that you have. And it can change you to make all types of, you know what I mean, different. But I still think she got some work done. Like, K. Michelle, we're not dumb. Like, I think it's what Wendy Williams said. I think it was Wendy who said it, where she was like getting, you know, the rest of her butt implants sucked out. And she was kind of like, hey, doc, you know, while I'm under, do a little nip, tuck, sucky suck, switcheroo on my face. Let's do some injections and some shaving. So yeah, I think it was a combination. I think it was face app. I think it was contouring and makeup. I think it was angles and lighting. And I also think it was plastic surgery. I don't think it was just that. I think she did get something done to her face. I mean, remember on her show, she got liposuction on the show. So I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have a problem. I mean, she should just admit it. Hey, Milky Deluxe. Marcella said Schoolboy was scared to even go through with the interview because of the cease and desist. Yeah, that is scary. But Schoolboy has nothing to be scared of. This is my thing. If you are speaking the truth of your experience and you're not doxing anybody, then you shouldn't be scared. Because as long as you're talking about your truth and the truth of your experience, and you have your receipts and you have what you went through, we can't let Monica bully us anymore. Like, we can't let her tell us what to do. I mean, Schoolboy was already her flying monkey because she's a narcissist. So that's insane. That is insane. Hey, AP News. Oh my God, she looks like a whole different person. Yeah, K. Michelle looked like a whole different person. She looked like an avatar of herself. She did really look like an Instagram filter. So who knows? Hey, Mo. Hey, pretty. You're looking gorgeous. I knew when she had that big old booty that she didn't like herself. She looked great without all of that. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying before. It's so sad when someone who is beautiful as is feels inadequate. And that's what it boils down to. It's feeling inadequate. It's feeling not enough. not good enough, not skinny enough, not big enough, not tall enough, not black enough, not white enough, not whatever it is enough. It really is just going to that basic core of feeling I am not good enough. And instead of looking inside and working on building up their own self-value and their own self-worth, they go get butt injections. They do auto-tune to their face. They jump from relationship to relationship. They make up stories out there in the blogs to stay relevant. Like literally everybody we've been talking about, whether it's narcissistic Monica, codependent J.Lo, insecure K. Michelle, it really just is a root base of not feeling enough. And I don't say this to knock them. I don't say this to make fun of them. I'm not saying this to shade them. I'm just saying when you look at it, you can just, even regardless if someone is a reality star or famous or whatever, you can see their humanity. You can see that they struggle with things that we all struggle with. There are days that we all wake up not feeling enough. And so even though I think the way they're moving is kind of weird, but I think that we can see the humanity in it. Like there are times when we all struggle with low self-esteem. And I just hope it can be an example that you don't have to jump from bed to bed. You don't have to go under the knife. You don't have to be a narcissistic crazy person. You can just go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Del Turner. Love your channel. I'm a new subscriber. Thank you. Yes, everybody. If you are loving the content, please like and subscribe and share. And my Cash App is down there, but only if you want to. No pressure. Hey, Mo. Do you feel that this payback for all the pain she caused Tamar? Is this K. Michelle? Did she do pain to Tamar? I'm not sure I know that story. So put more info in the chat and we can get into it. And I can also do more research. Let's see who else is in here. Hey, Carla Summers. Nobody is happy with the creator's good work. It's kind of sad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes a lot, especially if you didn't grow up in a self-validating and a self-affirming household. Like, if you grew up in a household where you weren't, like, your inherent value and worth wasn't reinforced, like, to me, I think God gives you value. So you are inherently valuable. You are inherently worthy. But it's the job of your parents or your caretakers to not give you value, but to reinforce the value that you already have. So the creator, God, universe, source, whatever language you want to put on it, to me, it's God. God created all of us. And just for the simple fact that we are here means we are valuable and worthy as is. We are already enough, just the way we are. We have intrinsic value. And then it's the job of parents, like I said, and caretakers to reinforce that value as children. And I think if we don't get that reinforced inherent value, if we're told we have to be good, we have to look this way, we have to act this way, we have to do this, this, and this, we have to prove our value, prove our worthiness, or if we are ignored or emotionally abused or neglected or ignored or all of those things, then we forget that we are already valuable and we're already worthy. And instead of looking inward for our worthiness, we look outside. How does this man see me? Am I going to get my worthiness from this man? Am I this worthiness from this money? Am I going to get this worthiness from this TV show, from this being popular, from being on the blogs, from this surgery, from this whatever? We're continuously looking outside of ourselves for value and worth when we only need to look inside to know that we are inherently valuable. And that's why I really think these people need to get some type of help, J.Lo included. Hey, Sasha. Schoolboy said that Monica policed what they did on their individual channels. Like they couldn't talk about certain topics if they were going to be discussed on All About the Tea. It's a mess. I believe it. I believe it because remember, Monica is a narcissist and she is all about control. So she wanted to control them and she wanted to control their narrative. She wanted to control their platforms, all of that. She wanted to control everything. So I believe it. Hey, pretty Keisha. I knew she was delusional when she said her booty came from eating her mama corn. She is not cornbread and fed. And you know who else who said that? Portia. Do we think Portia's butt is real or fake, or her body? Has she admitted to like building her body? And you guys also see that like Portia's face is different too. She's gotten some work done too. Money well spent, because she's a beautiful girl, but money well spent. And that's another thing. I think when these celebrities or people, if you do get your butt done or your face done or whatever, own it, because then people watching you, like, you're not my role model, but you might be a role model to the little girl next door. At least she knows that you bought that, and she doesn't think that that is just like how it's supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's almost like, this is God given. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Like, be real, be transparent. Hey, Mo at Keisha Wright. Yes. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat box. Hey, Onita, you said Portia Mama also got work done. Yeah, she did. Portia Mama did get work done. So it's like, if apple didn't fall that far from the tree. So yeah, Portia Mama got work done. And then allegedly, do you guys remember when it came out that allegedly Portia's mom has stolen from the Hosea Foundation to fund Portia's wedding to, what's his face, to Cordell? And they caught her, but instead of like exposing her, they'll like just give the money back or whatever. We're not going to say anything. Allegedly. Okay, hey, Meloju, you said Portia's real? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think everything on her, let me put it this way. I don't think everything on Portia is real. And I'm not just talking about go naked hair. Hey, it's Latasha. Yes, she admitted it a couple of reunions ago. Okay, see? So that's right. She did. She admitted a couple reunions ago. Thank you, Latasha. There you go. Hey, Tamra. Hey, pretty. Portia and Kenya got fake butts. Yeah, because you guys remember, I forgot who did it. Put it in the chat if you remember who did this. But they did the Kenya side by side. It was like a young Kenya, and her booty was just like this. And then it was like the Kenya now, and her booty was like that. Like, I know there's like grown women weight where you reach a certain age and your body sort of like spreads differently, and you kind of get, the hips and the stuff. But it's a different type of grown woman weight. Like, it's a totally different type of grown women weight. So I don't know. I think it was more than just her mama's cornbread. You see what I'm saying? Hey, pretty Keisha. Portia definitely had work done. Yes, she had no breasts or booty the first season of Rolla. Exactly. She had no breasts, no booty, and she had a different face. She had a different nose, and I think teeth. That's a big thing too. Portia got new teeth. So did her fiance Simon. He got some new chiclets in his face too. Those big horse teeth, which I don't know. But yeah, Portia definitely had a completely different body. 100%. Hey, Sasha at Portia for fake. Exactly. It is Portia for fake. Mocha Deluxe. Portia had a foundation, but that booty had so many reinforcements. She admitted to fillers, but nothing more. Yes. But still, I mean, fillers, implants, whatever it is, it's not natural. And you didn't get it from just, eating your mom's cornbread. And then also you have young, impressionable girls thinking that's how you're supposed to be, And I think do what you want, but be honest about it. Be transparent about it. And then that way we can make our own informed decisions. Hey, Tamara, Portia had her butt, but it was just not that juicy. Yeah, her butt is sitting high now. She's got a little stallion butt now. Hey, Carla Summers, I allegedly believe her mama is a thief. Same. Allegedly. Same. Yeah, it was saying how she stole from a foundation, and I think that's just so dirty. Hey, Young Rich, Nene. Yeah, Nene has a whole new face. New nose, new fillers. She's probably got some other stuff done. See, you know what I liked? I liked how Marlo okay. I know Marlo got like body liposuction. Did she admit to that, or was that just what we found out? I can't remember, but if she admitted to it, then that's what I like. Marlo came out and was just like, this is my new body. I'm showing it off. I'm doing body yada yada, but this is what I got done, and this is what it is. because that's what I like. Because to me, that shows that you're confident, you know, do a nip tuck. I'm not saying that one day I'm not going to get older and I'm going to want a little lipo here and a tuck there and a tighten there. Like, sure, why not? But again, I think it goes back to being tasteful and graceful, honoring your body, doing minor tweaks to enhance what you have, and then being honest. Like, don't lie. Like Dorit from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she had a face transplant. She looks completely different, but she doesn't admit to it. And to me, that makes you really corny. Like, you're really corny to me if you clearly have a different face and you want to look me in the eye and be like, what are you talking about? I've gotten no work done. This is contour. These are angles. Like, that to me makes you real corny. That's just how I feel about it. Hey, Mocha Deluxe, it's the shape that gives them away every time. Exactly. It's a completely different shape. And then did you guys see that when K. Michelle was on Instagram and her booty flopped, or her booty flipped or something like that? It was really crazy. Portia having her, but she denies her Wit K. What's the Wit K, Keisha? Portia admitted hers, but Kenya denies hers. Oh, so Portia admitted, but Kenya denies it. Got it. Hey, Mellow Drew, what do you think about the new housewife Tiara? Who's Tiara? From which franchise? I don't know a Tiara. Hey, Tamara, Kenya got one of those first-generation butts. It is hard implant, but not fat transfer. Yeah, that's why you can see how it sits, and it's kind of like, poop, and it just sort of like pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can definitely see a difference. You can definitely see a difference. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chatterization. Sasha, do you watch Married to Medicine? The women on that show are pretty natural for the most part. Okay, so I do watch Married to Medicine. I stopped watching halfway through this season because I just got super bored. But Dr. Heavenly, she got something. She got some lipo. She got something, because even before she was allowed to be on the show. So remember how this was Mariah's show? It was Mariah's concept, and she brought it to Bravo, and she was like, these are the women I want to be on the show. Bravo said, okay, these women are great, but Dr. Heavenly doesn't have the look, like basically saying that Dr. Heavenly was too big to be on the show. So Dr. Heavenly then got lipo, or she got some type of body, whatever, to fit the mold to be smaller for the show. So Dr. Heavenly has gotten a lot of work done, but I will say that you're right. The women on that show are more natural than the women on other shows. So I definitely agree with that. Hey, Keisha, Marlo admitted to her lipo. That's right. She did get the lipo. After Shamia said it, she admitted it. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. It's Shamia. What do you guys think about Shamia? What are your thoughts on her? I personally, it's not that I don't like Shamia. I just don't like anyone that doesn't have their own perspective and doesn't have their own voice. To me, Shamia is just a puppet. She is just like Portia's puppet. So I don't really respect her because I don't really know who Shamia is outside of saying whatever Portia wants her to say. Hey, Young Rich, Marlo blamed it on her nephews jumping on her back. Oh, I mean, she had, you know what I mean? She had to blame it on something first, but at least she eventually came out with the truth. Marlo blamed it on her nephews jumping on her back. Let's see what you guys else are saying. Okay. And then let's talk about, you guys want to talk about Wendy Williams and Gary Owens? Let's spice it up, switch the course. Okay. So, Wendy Williams and Gary Owens. So for background, Gary Owens is a white actor, comedian. He works with a lot of other, Black actors and Black comedians, like the Kevin Harts and the Cat Williams of the world. He is going through a very public and very contentious and very nasty divorce with his wife of 17 years. They were together for 23, married for 17, and now going through a very public and very messy divorce. So a couple days ago, he was on the Wendy Williams show, and Wendy Williams very publicly on the show was kicking it to him, basically being like, now that you're almost single, like I always had my eye on you at the premieres, like I would see you and I thought like you really just look good to me, all this other, this, that, and the third. She asked him to dinner on the show, which was kind of cringeworthy. It just was really, he was very awkward. You could tell he was kind of squirming, didn't really know what to say or do. The audience seemed a little on edge about it. It was crazy. And then afterwards, his wife clapped back, I believe, in an interview with Love B. Scott. And then it was all of these headlines saying that Gary and Wendy were like boyfriend and girlfriend and something was going on behind the scenes, which I do not believe. So that being said, my thoughts on it. That was a case of when shooting your shot goes wrong. Like I'm a little bit old school. Like I am more in the vein of the man asks and the man is the pursuer and the man chases, and that I am the prize and the man needs to pursue me, chase me, and win me because I am the prize. The sperm chases the egg. And I don't mean that to be heteronormative or anything, nothing or like unfeminist or anything like that. Just the analogy of it. You know, I believe in LGBTQ and women can do whatever they want. Yes, I'm just saying like my personal thoughts on it. So to watch her so aggressively come after a still married man just felt so cringy to me. Like he was so awkward. He did not know what to say or do. And she was just so, she had no self-awareness. And she was just shooting her shot on the show in front of everybody. And I was just like, this is so cringy. And you could tell that he was not interested in her. And it was just really awkward and really, really weird. And it was literally a case of like when shooting your shot goes wrong. Like, I think Wendy Williams, if she was actually interested in him, this is how I think she should have handled it. She should have done her interview in a normal, regular way. And then afterwards, she should have had her people reach out to his people and say, hey, Wendy would love to go for a friendly dinner or drink or catch up with Gary. Let us know about his schedule and we can put together a time for them to, you know, get together and catch up. And then from there, she could gauge his interest. So she's not asking him on a date directly. You know, she's not the woman asking a man out. And then secondly, she's not doing it on national television. And thirdly, she's not disrespecting his wife. Yes, they're estranged. Yes, they're going through a divorce, but he's not divorced yet. So you're pulling a big old Porsche. Well, a little bit different because you don't know his wife, but you're literally up here on television asking a still married man out on a date. To me, it was just so cringy on so many different levels. But I want to know what you guys think. So let's see what you guys are saying over here in the comments, in the comment streets. Let's see what you guys are saying. Sasa T says Sam needs to get a backbone or go. I agree 100%. Shamia needs to get a backbone. She needs to get her own opinion and all that stuff. She needs all of it. Hey, Onita. Onita says, no disrespect, but Wen and Gary Owens' wife body resemble. So I guess Wendy thought he'll like her as well. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that's a true comment. They do have a similar aesthetic, a similar resemblance. So maybe she thought she could shoot her shot. Like he was like, you like that, then you'll probably like me. But I mean, it was just so cringeworthy and it was horrible. And I don't think they're dating. I don't think there's anything going on down the streets. He just seemed really uncomfortable and it was just really too much. Hey, Caller Summers, the guys are too visual. The only way they're going to stay with Wendy is because of that coin. That lymphedema, I'm sure, is a turn off. Okay, yes, I definitely respect your comment and respect what you say, but I actually think that there are so many people who have disorders and diseases who we may not think of as being conventionally beautiful, but find real love and a real authentic love. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I think that there are people out there who may have skin conditions and burns or acne scars or swelling or stretch marks, or whatever it is that we may not think of as conventional beauty, or we think that they are not attractive or visual. But there is someone out there who will look at that person and love that person for exactly who that person is. So I don't think that just because Wendy Williams has lymphedema that men won't find her attractive for who she is. I think that when it comes to people who have wealth, whether it's women or men, it's just another hurdle that you have to get through when finding love, because you could be gorgeous and someone could still just want you for your money, or you could be, rich and, or you could be poor and somebody only wants you for your looks because you're really beautiful and they're just using you for that. So I think, yes, people are visual, men are visual, guys are visual, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And you could have disfigurement or diseases or scarring or whatever and still be very beautiful and authentically loved by someone. So I'm not going to count Miss Wendy out just because she has lymphedema. But thank you, Carla. I appreciate your perspective. Hey, it's Latasha. Did Wendy have anything to say about Portia, especially in regards to dating a married man? Okay, you know what? I totally disagree with Miss Wendy on this, because she was like, oh, Portia was just like doing what she wanted to do. She wasn't friends with that girl and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, excuse me, Miss Wendy? Like, didn't your husband just do the same thing to you, but like kind of way worse? He had a whole baby on the side. You were up on your platform talking about the baby and like throwing shade at the child because it was like out of wedlock, and how, you're going to be like, mommy, where was daddy when I was being born? And you're going to be like, oh, well, he was with old Miss Wendy. She was saying all kind of crazy crap. It was around the time when her Lifetime movie was coming out. She was saying crazy stuff about that kid, and children are innocent in this. And yet she now has the audacity to just be like, Portia didn't know that girl. They weren't friends, blah, 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 blah. Like, she didn't take a hard stance against Portia, and she didn't go against Portia. And to me, I was just like, I'm so confused. Like, how are you having all of this heat and hate when it's your situation? When another woman, obviously you can't take a man, but you know what I'm saying for this context. When another woman takes your husband and has your husband's child, you have all the smoke for her. You have all the smoke for him. You have all the smoke for the baby. But yet when it happens to another woman, Fallon, when her man is taken by another woman very publicly and very embarrassingly, somehow you're team Portia, and Portia was just doing her and she didn't know this girl. Well, at the end of the day, Miss Wendy, Kelvin's, whatever his name is, his side chick didn't know you. So is it cool that she took your husband? Asking for a friend. Is that cool? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If you are giving Portia a pass for being engaged to a married man, then how dare you have any smoke for the woman who was with your husband while you were married? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So to me, I really was disappointed in her, because how did you not come out against Portia when you have literally been Fallon, but even worse? So to me, I was just like, Miss Wendy, get it together. Your slip is showing. When it came to the Portia Fallon incident, that's just kind of how I felt about it. Hey, Tamara, Wendy is too aggressive. It did not work on Kevin. Either he only stayed for the cast and chased the women he really wanted. Yeah. And if you actually, that's a really good point, Tamara, a really good point. Because if you watched her interview with Gary, she said on there, she said that her therapist said that she was too aggressive and that she intimidated men. And to me, that goes back to what I was saying, where it's like, of course, women can pursue or whatever, but when it's so aggressive like that, I think just at the base level, men like to be the pursuer. They like to chase and they want to catch their prize. But I think when you put it out there and you're too aggressive and you don't kind of have your femininity and your feminine finesse to it, and you're kind of coquettish and it's a little fun game back and forth, that can be a turnoff. And that can just be, it just comes across in a really weird way. So I think you're right. It was way, way, way too aggressive. And I think that, I think the Kevin thing, I think Kevin, from what it sounds like, he kind of always had an agenda and probably always looked at Wendy as his cash cow. And to me, Kevin sort of kept her isolated and he kept her at odds with people, same way Monica did in a certain way, to keep control. So I think Kevin probably has some narcissistic tendencies as well. There we go. Hey, Keisha. I got secondhand embarrassment from watching Wendy ask him out. Oh, girl, I know. It hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. And then she was like, well, you can just say no. And I was just like, oh my God. It was really, really embarrassing. It was so cringeworthy. So cringeworthy. It's Latasha. Now at Onyata, I'm not saying you were wrong, but LOL. Yay, I love you guys are talking. Yeah, it's Latasha. Hey, Carla. She says, okay, Candy. Okay, yes. And I appreciate your commentary and I appreciate your perspective. You guys keep it coming. You know, if you don't agree with me, let it be known. All thoughts and comments are all welcome to hear, and we will kiki and we will laugh and have a good time. Yes, we will. Hey, Young Rich, men bust in socks, so I'm sure lymph is not a problem. Exactly. So it is all good. It is all good. No matter what you look like, no matter what you're going through, there is someone who will love you for you authentically. So don't think that don't feel like you're down and out because of something. You know what I mean? Because honestly, we all have something going on. Hey, Tamra, but Wendy laid up with Method Man and he had a wife. So no, but I think what it was, I think Wendy got with Method Man before he was married. So what Wendy was talking about was like back in the day. So she got with Method Man before he was married. The wife was pissed because she brought it up at all. And the wife was pissed because Method Man at some point had confided in Wendy, or either he confided in Wendy or Wendy found out somehow that Method Man's wife had cancer. And Wendy told it. Wendy told it either on her radio show or on her TV show, one of the two. She told it. She told it that Method Man's wife had cancer and Method Man's wife hadn't publicly said it yet. So that's where the beef was coming from. And so Method Man's wife was like, why are you so obsessed with my husband? All this stuff. You told that I had cancer. Like that wasn't your place to tell. All of that stuff. But I think when Wendy slept with Method Man, I think that was back in like allegedly, even though she said it, like the drug days. Because she was saying how they were at some club and it was like late at night and he just like came over and like all that stuff. So I think it was like back in the day. So who knows? Carla. Hey, Carla. She goes for years and years and years. Yes. Hey, Young Rich. It's karma for when she turned Ebony down to hang out. Who turned who down to hang out? Hey, Serizal22. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Let me know if I didn't. Wendy behavior is embarrassing. Don't do it. Whew, girl, I agree. I agree with that 100%. Her behavior was embarrassing. Like honestly, it was like when shooting your shot goes wrong. It was just, it hit my heart. Like she didn't pick up on any social cues, which is to me was just really showed how she lacked self-awareness. She didn't understand how she was being received by him, by the audience, by everyone. She was in her own world and it was just like, it was just so cringy, but it was a really good reminder to me and to anybody else watching, like, you are the prize. Let them pursue you. Let them chase you. Let them come after you. And you are the one who says yes or no. Do you know what I mean? It was super, super cringy. It was way too much. Hey, Keisha. Yes, Wendy announced about the man's wife cancer diagnosis on radio. Exactly. So Wendy had gotten the word that Method Man's wife had cancer, and she took it upon herself to publicly say that. And to me, that is so grimy and dirty. You know, it's kind of like what Dr. Jackie did to Buffy. You know, she took it upon herself to take somebody else's personal medical information and announce it to the world. Like, you just don't do that. There has to be a bottom to the petty. Like, some things has to be sacred. You know, somebody having cancer has to be sacred. You don't speak on it unless they give you permission to speak on it. You know, somebody going through multiple miscarriages and infertility and coming to the point in their life where they know that they're not going to be able to have their own child. You don't speak on that unless they give you permission to speak on it. Like, there are some things that are just sacred. You know, there has to be some type of code. There has to be some type of levels to this. It was insane. Absolutely insane. Hey, Series Al 22. Good. Okay. Yay. Good. Yes. Hey, Young Rich. You remember when Ebony from Real Housewives of New York went on Wendy and offered to hang out with her, and Wendy coldly said no? Oh my God. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Young Rich. Thank you for clarifying. Yes. Okay. So my thoughts on why Wendy said no was because Wendy doesn't want the competition. She doesn't want any smoke with Ebony. She doesn't want the competition. She saw that Ebony is beautiful, black, highly educated, on the Real House of New York on Bravo. She is a catch. You know what I mean? She is a catch. And so the reason why Wendy said, no, I'm not going to go out with you, is because Wendy doesn't want the competition when it comes to men. Wendy has made it very, very clear that she is man hungry. She is on the prowl. She wants a warm body in her bed. You know, she wants all of it. So when Ebony was like, let's hang out, let's go look for men, she was like, no, because she was just like, because in Wendy's mind, she looked at Ebony and she goes, you're prettier than me. The men are going to want you and not me. So no, I don't want to go out with you. That's what I got from that. That is what I got from that. That she was like, no, because she doesn't want the competition. Because it's like, you know, again, everyone is beautiful in their own way. But just conventionally, Ebony versus Wendy, you would probably think conventional beauty standards, you would go with an Ebony. Serials 22 new subscriber. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's right. So we have been on here for over an hour, you guys. So if you've been enjoying it, if you've been having a good kiki, be sure to like, subscribe. Cash App is below, only if you want to. So let's see what you guys are saying. Hey, Mellow Drew. You said you remind me of Ebony and Candy Dollar Riley in one. Oh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. That's such a different combination of people. So thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey, Keisha. One of Wendy's idols is Howard Stern, a shock jock. So nothing she does surprises me. She has no boundaries. That is very, very true. She really doesn't. She has no boundaries. She has no bottom. She contradicts herself. I think if you have Howard Stern as an idol, that kind of speaks to like where you're at in your life and where you're going with, you know, what you want to do. So you're right. It definitely speaks to that. It definitely does. So let's change course a little bit. We're also going to talk about, what do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Kardashians? Do you want to talk about Blake Shelton? Let's get into it. With Stefani. Oh, wait. We have a comment from Young Rich. Did you watch Housewives and The Hustler? I am watching Housewives and The Hustler this week, but we can speak about some Erica Girardi and Tom Girardi. We can speak on it. Okay, so clearly Erica knew what was going on. I'm not saying she's a legal mastermind. I'm not saying she knew exactly the ins and outs of it, but it is very clear that Erica and Tom were in on the okie doke together. It is very clear that they got together, made up this fake divorce, which is clearly fake, for the courts to hide assets. It is very clear that Tom Girardi is a narcissist, but also something else is going on with him. Like, it's the hubris, right? It's the pride. It's this like delusion of grandeur. Like, he puts on this front like he is this like, in Erica too, that he is like some brilliant legal mind, where the truth is you really just won very winnable cases. Like, kind of like duh cases. Like, oh, this company spilled this thing. This house blew up. Duh, you're going to get a settlement. You know what I mean? Like, very like things like that. And this is not in no way to belittle the victims, because the victims are really the ones who deserve the justice and the money in the situation. So this is no way to belittle the victims. But what I'm saying is that you can so clearly see like the hubris and the pride and the narcissism and the delusions that Tom and Erica had when the whole time they were robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know what I mean? Like, doing this complete Ponzi scheme. So they would be in debt to one creditor. Then they would take the earnings of one case to pay that creditor back. But then now they're in debt to this creditor and to this case. So they were basically using other clients' money to pay off other clients and to pay off other creditors, and then going deeper in debt, because they weren't really making the income that they were saying that they were making, and they were using funds that they weren't supposed to be using. And to me, what is so sickening when it comes to Erica, and she is really, really hard to watch. And we'll be doing a live on recapping the Real House of Beverly Hills. I think it either comes on tomorrow or the next night, but the day after it comes on, we'll come on and we'll do a live. But to me, the sickest part about Erica, and how I know she is low down and dirty and evil, is that she refuses to cooperate, and she refuses to liquidate her assets to help give back. I'm sorry, if I was married to this guy, this hotshot lawyer, and he had all this money, and he bought me all of these bags and hair and jewelry and cars and whatever the hell, had bought me all this stuff, and then it turned out he bought it on the backs of burn victims and orphans and all of this stuff, I would seriously feel so sick to my stomach. I would think this was blood money, and I would do everything in my power to make it right. That is only if I wasn't in on it, though, right? If I wasn't in on it and I found out this is what happened, I would do everything in my power to make it right. There is no way I could walk around and shell Denora, Givenchy, and all this stuff, knowing that there are burn victims out there, orphan victims, really like people who are really messed up, who need this money and deserve this money, but yet somehow I feel entitled to Dior. It's sick. Like, that's a different level of sickness. Like, I would feel physically sick if that's what happened. So to me, right there, Erica, you showed your butt. You showed your ass, girl, because you know you were in on it. Hey, Mellow Drew, Erica going to jail. I hope so. And that's not me wishing ill on anyone, because what you put out, you get back. So I'm not wishing ill or negativity, or I'm not delighting in anybody's downfall. But I think when you do dirty, you need to be held accountable for it. So I want her to be held accountable. I'll put it that way. I think, unfortunately, sometimes it goes one or two ways, I think. I think sometimes when you have a public figure or somebody who's really rich and wealthy, either they get a slap on the wrist and they kind of get like a vanity fine to pay, and they kind of, you know what I mean, house arrest for a couple of months, and they kind of go on their merry way. Or it goes the other way, where they really come down on them and they want to make that person an example because they are a public figure, right? So I think it could go either way. Either she's going to go to jail, or it's going to be a slap on the wrist, depending. But I don't think it's going to be what any normal person would have gotten. It's either going to be way worse or way less, given who she is. Hey, Young Rich. Isn't her son a cop? He's going to have to arrest his mama child. Yes, her son is a cop. But that again showed you her character. Because remember, she left her son in New York. When she went to LA, she was like, I'm leaving my son. I mean, granted, she left her son with his father, But still, I mean, and maybe this is just me conforming to societal views. You know, I'm not gonna just conforming to societal views, but to me, there is something unnatural about a woman leaving her child. And again, maybe that's just old-fashioned thinking or societal thinking, conditioning, but just on a gut level, I don't have children, but if I did, there is nothing in this world that would make me part from my child during those years. You know what I mean? There's nothing in this world that would make me leave my child. If I want to go to if I want a better position for myself, if I want to go chase my dreams, me and baby are going together. You know what I mean? We're doing the damn thing together. We're Bonnie and Clyding it. But you know what I mean? But there's no way I'm leaving my child behind. I don't even care if it is with the father. I'm the mommy. You know? So to me, that kind of just showed me her character, that you would leave your child behind to go pursue, you know, fame and fortune, which I think, do you, boo-boo. But I just wouldn't ever leave my child behind. And to me, when a mother is able to leave her child behind, that just doesn't sit right. Maybe that's just old-fashioned thinking, but I'm not leaving my baby behind for nobody. So yeah. Hey, Miles Kidman, I think Sutton is a racist. See, I don't think Sutton is a racist at all. I don't think she is. I really, really like Sutton, actually. I like her a lot. I think the thing with Sutton was, Sutton to me is kind of like that wacky, really rich, a little out of touch, you know, woman, who's just kind of like wacky. Do you know what I mean? I like Sutton though. I don't think she's a racist at all. Her and Garcelle are really good friends. Not to be like, oh, she's white, she's a black friend, she's not racist. No, I don't mean that. But her and Garcelle are really good friends. I don't think Sutton's racist at all. I think Sutton was over-identifying with that conversation between Crystal and Kyle. So what Sutton was saying was, Sutton was just like, no, Kyle, like, we all know that you weren't trying to bring down black women, the black race, by what you said. You were just trying to hurt Garcelle as a person. And then Crystal was like, well, hold on. Like, I'm actually a woman of color. And as a woman of color, this has been my experience. So I understand where Garcelle was coming from, because although I'm not a black woman, I am a minority, and we have a shared experience. It's not the exact experience, but we have a shared experience in this world that you do not have because you are a white woman. I think Sutton just got defensive. I think Sutton was projecting some stuff. I think Sutton was just in a place, and she just was just, you know, sometimes people are just going through something, and it's really not about what you're talking about or what's going on. They're just going through stuff. I think Sutton is just going through something. I think maybe her divorce was weighing on her more than she wanted to admit it. Because of course, like for us, we're like, wait, Sutton, you went from a $7 million house to a $6 million house. Like, what are you complaining about? It's really not that bad. Do you know what I mean? But it's still not about the money. It's about, I think as a woman, or just as anyone, when your marriage is over, that is like a death, and you have to mourn that. And now she had to move out of the home that I'm sure she thought she was going to live in forever. Maybe it's the home she raised her children in, and now she has to move to another home. So yes, it sounds like princess problems, like, oh, you're moving from one mansion to another. But when you think about it from a human to human, Sutton was probably going through some stuff. You know what I mean? Like, she's going through it. She just got divorced. That has to hurt no matter what. She went from having, of course she has the money, but just not about money. She went from having the security of like her husband and a family, you know, to now having to build a new home that she's going to live in by herself. And she's also displaced because she's staying in she's renting out Kyle's old place until this home gets rebuilt. So that's a lot of change, and that's a lot of grief, and that's a lot of loss. So just because Sutton has money doesn't mean that Sutton doesn't have feelings and that she wasn't grieving and going through something. And I think that's why Sutton was lashing out and was being weird and having all this stuff. And I did think that Crystal was a bit of a hypocrite. she was a bit of a hypocrite, because remember when she was calling Sutton, oh, Sutton is crazy, Sutton is weird and awkward, she's crying, why is she crying, why is she being so triggered? She was really cold and mean to Sutton. And I remember on the boat when Sutton was trying to have a heart-to-heart with her, she was just like, okay, like, I've been going through this, and like, I know I took it out on you, I didn't mean to. And Crystal had the sunglasses on, and she was just like, okay. Like, being very condescending and rude and mean girl. She wasn't really giving Sutton grace and compassion for having a vulnerable moment. But yet, literally, same exact freaking episode, Crystal had her own breakdown when Sutton came in the room to give her coat back. And she was like naked or something, and she like jumped, and she was like, I was in a ball and I was naked, and that was so weird. And then Crystal had her own mental meltdown based on maybe something has happened to her in the past. I'm not gonna knock her for that, but what I'm saying, it's just like the same. She was going through the same exact thing. She was triggered by something that had hurt her, and she had this reaction that seemed over the top. She didn't go to dinner, she was crying about it and all this stuff. Then she went to Sutton crying about Sutton knocking on the door, coming in to give her coat, and Sutton was just like, oh, I don't know what's going on in here. Okay, I'm gonna go now, which was normal. She was an awkward situation, and so she wanted to get out there. So then now Crystal is wanting understanding, and Crystal's wanting compassion, and Crystal is wanting to give context to her tears and her having a meltdown, but she didn't extend that same thing to Sutton. So to me, it was the hypocrisy for me. It's like Sutton clearly was going through something. She was triggered. She overreacted and wanted compassion and understanding and love. Crystal was triggered by something, overreacted, and then wanted compassion, understanding, and love. So, and then what does Sutton do? Sutton was like, okay, well, let's have a hug. Like she showed her love and compassion. She didn't okay her. Okay. And I do like Crystal, but I think in that moment she was being very self-righteous and very high on her horse. And I think she got put down a peg or two when she had her own moment. So that's kind of how I feel about them. Let's see. Hey, Miles, you guys, and notice her outfits and makeup starting looking a mess when the investigation picked up. Yeah, all I am saying is that Erica, foul. Hey, Cerez22. Erica doesn't at all. Selfish as victims from a fire. Yes, she is very, very selfish. Victims literally from fires, from car crashes, from plane crashes, from all of this stuff. Like, how do you do that? There are multiple victims and literally millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they're trying to say that $20 million disappeared overnight when there is the paper trail that Tom Girardi's company wired $20 million to Erica's company. So I think Erica is hiding it, either offshore, somebody else's name, something, but they are in it together. They are in cahoots. Hey, Mellow Drew, who do you think winning in the verses, Trina or Eve? Probably Trina. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Trina has that fire. Eve to me is sort of like a pretty performer. Trina has that fire. So my money is definitely on Trina. What do you guys think? Hey, Cereals, make it make sense. Erica's son is a cop, the husband lawyer. I mean, look, I think corruption is everywhere. I'm not saying her son is involved, but I'm not saying her son is involved, but I definitely think that she knew. And I think both Tom go to jail. I think Tom is faking his Alzheimer's mental capacity. I think he is as sharp as he has ever been. And I think they all need to go to jail, and this victim needs justice, and these victims need some money. Hey, Milky Deluxe. I knew Erica looked a bit funny in the light when she implied she was all lives matter. Ugh. Get out of ew. Disgusting. That is disgusting. I can't handle it. Cannot handle it. Hey, Melody Sutton is very ignorant on certain things. Yeah, she is. She's probably ignorant. And ignorant just means like, like not knowing. But I think she has a good heart. I don't think she has any malintent. Um, yeah, I don't she's ignorant to some things, but I think she's open to learning. And I do think that her breakdowns was coming from a place of projection and a place of she was going through something. And then she was just extra sensitive and extra raw. Hey, Keisha at Mellow Drew. I think Trina doesn't stand a chance against Eve. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Keisha thinks Eve is going to win. So this will be good. This will be a good versus. We'll see. Hey, Cereals, I like Sutton better than this new girl. She is so mean. Crystal is doing too much. Let me tell you, I do think Crystal is doing too much. I think she's trying too hard to be like this mean, robotic girl, and she doesn't really need to do that. Like, she can come a little bit more correct. I don't think she has to be this way. I do like Crystal, but I agree with you. She's doing too much. I kind of want her to just chill, just be herself a little bit more and stop trying so hard. I think she's trying really hard to put up this front. Hey, Miles Kidman, Trina need to stop being scared and do that versus with Kaya. Eve will eat her alive, especially early 2000 Eves. Okay. So you guys are thinking Eve is going to win. Okay. We're getting more Eves. Hey, Young Rich at Miles. Yes. Kia versus Trina and Eve versus Missy would have been more fitting. You know what, Young Rich? I agree. I think Eve versus Missy. I can see that. See, I think that is more fitting. I agree with you. Eve versus Missy. I agree with that. Yes. Keisha says at Miles, I completely agree. Apai New says Trina. Okay, we got another Trina. Yes. Keisha says no, Candy. Eve is going to wash Trina, in my opinion. Yes. Exactly. Woo. Oh, you guys, these chats are going fast. Let's see. Young Rich says, I can't name a Trina song. I can't name it off the bat, but you know why I said that is because I watched her on Love and Hip Hop Miami. And so I think to me, it was like her attitude and like her swagger. Whereas Eve, I think more of as, I don't know, like this like pretty actress and pretty rapper. And like, I don't know, like she wouldn't come like so raw with it, but I could be completely wrong. So I'm here for it. We had a lot of Eves. We got a couple of Trinas. I did like the idea of Eve versus Missy. And then Kia, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, versus Trina. So yeah. And then Keisha says Eve has way more hits than Trina. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Eve has a lot of hits. So that's a really good point. And Tamara says, you don't know Nan, LOL. You don't know Nan-ish. Dun, 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 dun. Yes! Dun, 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 dun. Young Rich, Trina couldn't even beat Kia, let alone Evie Eve. Ooh, okay. We're having a versus in the comments right now. I love it. Keisha at Tamara, isn't that Trick song that Trina is featured on? Well, Trick and Trina, they used to do a lot of collabs, right? Weren't they always collabing together? It's Trick Daddy and Trina. I think they did a lot of collabs at Airwalks. That's because he married a white man and switched up. Yeah, but I mean, he's a white billionaire. So, like, who's winning in that game? Like, as long as he loves her and respects her and they are happy, then it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's worth it. Billion with a B. So yeah. Hey, Tamara. Yes, Keisha, but you know Trina thinks it's her song. Trina has a nasty attitude. Oh, so you think her attitude is more nasty than like confident chick? You think it's really nasty? Okay. Keisha, Eve is the pit bull in a skirt, y'all. Ooh. Eve is a purple and a skirt. Come through, Keisha. Hi, Maya. Eve has more hits left. Hip hop. Eve has more hits, but left hip hop so long ago. Right. Strange matchup, in my opinion, over versus at this point. Yeah, I agree. It is kind of a strange matchup. That's a good point. I think Young Rich made the point about who would have been better fitted in the verses. So yeah, that's a good point too. It's a very good point. Hey, P. So P says Eve is going to completely wash Trina. Trina has more regional hits. Eve has more nationwide hits. That Gwen Stefani song alone. Oh, that Gwen Stefani song. Yeah. You know what? You guys might be changing my mind. I might be going over to Eve now. Young Great says Trina used to feature Trick to get on them features, says Kai, citing my sources. Yeah. That is true. That is very true. And P says Eve leveled up, in my opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am all about the swirl, the caramel mocha latte. I am all about it. I think, you know what? Love is love. If it is genuine love and it is a come up, why not? Especially for Black women. To all colors, to all people, obviously. But since I'm a Black woman, I'll say for Black women. I love it when we are able to glow up, level up, and come up unapologetically. I love it. I'm here for it. Level up, level up, level up. Like Sierra. Sierra leveled up, right? She went from Future, who had like 10 babies mamas, to Russell, who is like multimillionaire, super respectful, like is like a father to her son. They have other children together. Like, to me, I love it when we level up. You know, Sierra leveled up. Eve leveled up. I love it. So the white billionaire, yes. Who else? Serena Williams. She married the founder of Reddit, right? He's white. He's a billionaire. Serena did it too. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you talking about billionaire with a B? Bring it on. If y'all know any billionaires, white, black, yellow, purple, pink, let a girl know. Hey, Keisha at Maya, definitely a bad match. Right, exactly. Hey, Tamara, they need to add gospel to verses. But who do you think would be good for a gospel versus? Like, who could we get? Like, who could go against who? That's still alive. Like, is gospel hot like that? I don't know. So, like, let me know what you guys think. Like, who would be good? Eve. Hey, P. Eve could have been in struggle love with Stevie. Oh, with Stevie, but she's living her best life. I ain't mad at her, not mad at her all. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, Sierra wasn't struggle love with Future. Eve wasn't struggle love with Stevie J. And then they both leveled up. You know, Sierra went and got Russell, who is amazing and great. And then Eve went and married a white billionaire. I ain't mad at it. Honestly, I'm like, call me sis. Like, let me know. You know, if like they got friends, like, let me know. Sierra and Eve, let me know if they got friends. I'm single and ready to mingle, guys. Hey, Sierra, did you see Joffrey's comments? I saw the headlines. I didn't have the emotional capacity. I was just like, I don't got time for this foolery. Like, I don't have time for this foolery. So I didn't even go into it because I have limited energy and limited attention span. Hey, P, be with whomever makes you happy, treats you, and allows you to be in your feminine energy. Exactly. And I love that you brought up feminine energy because that's what was so off-putting by Wendy Williams and Gary, right? How she was on there completely in her masculine. And remember, when we talk about feminine energy, like feminine versus masculine, it's not man versus woman. It's not female versus male. It's just the characteristics of like the energy type. One is more aggressive. One is more chasing, pursue, versus the one that's more submissive and receiving and softer. So it's not so much about gender roles. It's more about the quality of the energy. So whether it's like a feminine energy or a masculine energy. And as human beings, we have both. So as women, we have masculine energy and feminine energy. And as men, we have feminine energy and masculine energy. So just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you only have feminine, or you're a man, you only have masculine. It's a balance. You can interchange them. Like, for example, say you're a woman and you are, like right now, I'm in my masculine energy and I'm talking to you guys because I am, hosting this and I'm talking to you. I'm reading everything. I'm leading it, right? I'm the leader. It's that leader energy, is the masculine energy, even though like right now. But like say I'm on a date, I might be a little bit more feminine. So a little bit more like listening, like whatever. So that. But yeah, you're right. It's just about the different to be in your feminine energy 100%. And there's nothing wrong with and I really love women who date strategically. And I don't mean gold digger. I don't mean any of that stuff. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about women who date for men who are compatible, who want to love them, who want to support them in all aspects, financially, emotionally, someone who is equally yoked in that sense, so I think that's good. And I think that we need to let go of that stigma of gold digging and things like that, or men only want women for sex and women only want men for money, because it's not really about sex and money. It's more about, think about it biologically. Like women, we have children, so you want men who can protect and provide for us and our young. Men want women who are fertile and who are able to carry on the genes genetically. So it's really more based on those instinctual things that, as technology grows, as society goes, translates into money equals stability, ability to provide, looks translates to someone being healthy and fertile for the children. So it just goes back to how we're biologically hardwired. Young Rich, I need a Sarah come up, child. She is blessed. Me too. I need Sarah to teach a master class on the glow up and the come up. That's what I need. I need her to teach a master class in it. Because remember, didn't she do some prayer? She like manifested him into her life. She like prayed him in. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to go on the internet and see what her prayer was. And then I'm going to change it to like tailor it to like what I need. But yeah, I mean, her come up was lovely. Not only did she find a man that loved her, she found a man that loved her child too. And I think that is what is so beautiful. It's like that relationship. Yes, Eve definitely leveled up, especially from Stevie J. Exactly. Definitely a come up. Hey, Maya, I love to see it. Me too. I definitely love to see it. Young Rich, Kirk Franklin and Free Hammond had one. Ooh, did they have a versus? What did y'all think about the Kirk Franklin thing when his son was caught him with the okie doke, cussing him out on the thing? Keisha, who would go against Yolanda Adams? Ooh, that's a good one. Young Rich says Yolanda versus CeCe Winans. Do you think that would be a good one? Keisha says, yes, that would be a good one. Okay. We need to talk to the powers that be. Tamara says, marry the Clark sisters. There you go. Yes. Ooh. Hey, Farrah Rhonda. She says, Serena's husband is not a billionaire. She's actually worth more than him. Are you sure? I always heard he was a billionaire because he was the co-founder of Reddit. Maybe that's wrong, but that's what I always heard. However, I do agree that she leveled up in terms of how he treats her and not trying to compete with her. He lets her shine. That's true. So regardless of the money aspect, they're both, if he's not a billionaire, they both are in their own rights extremely wealthy. Let's put it there. I always was told that he was a billionaire and he was the founder or the co-founder of Reddit. So, and Serena Williams has her money in her own right. Yes. But the second part, I agree with 100%. She did level up in terms of how he treats her and not trying to compete and lets her shine, because Serena was in struggle love with Common, right? Who's now in struggle love with, what's her name? Tiffany Haddish. Because they're on again, off again, right? So yeah, it's all about the come up. It's all about, how is this person treating me? You know what I mean? Are they letting me be myself? And are they loving me unconditionally? You know, am I happy with this person? Like, that is really what it's all about. At Miles says, put Candy on The Bachelorette. Yes. I don't know if I would survive on that show, because I would just be, I think I'd be too much. I'd be doing the most. I would be like, when they first came off, I would be like, no, no, yes, no, no. Like, I'd be wilding. I'd be wilding on that show. But yeah, they need to put me on something. Definitely. But I'd be wilding. Hey, Serials, Wendy is a very dominating person. She is. She's very, very dominating, and she lacks self-awareness. And that is what made it so cringy and so awkward. She wasn't self-aware enough to step back from this and be like, oh, this isn't landing the way I thought it was going to land. Hey, P, Wendy is a mess. Shake my head. Didn't she get dumped by some guy named Michael? He said he wasn't even dating her. Yeah, but she is a mess. But I will say, in her defense, in this particular situation, Michael shouldn't have gone on her show as part of a dating segment. Like, the whole segment was basically Wendy's own version of Bachelorette. They had eligible bachelors compete to win a date with Wendy. And she said, she was very clear. She was like, I'm serious about this. Like, I'm doing this as a way to find love. I want to find a boyfriend. So she wasn't like, this is just a game. This is fun. This is nothing. She was very clear about that. So to me, Michael and who was the one, his friend? He's Latin. He's a host. He used to be on Saved by the Bell. What is his name? Mario Lopez, I think. He shouldn't have got his friend to go on the dating segment if his friend wasn't seriously into Wendy. To me, it was only about him promoting his business, and it was dead ass wrong for Michael to then go out, do interviews with Page Six, and try to clown on Wendy. Why were you on the dating segment, sir? If you weren't into Wendy, if you didn't want to date her, why were you on the dating segment? Just to promote your business? You grimy. You're grimy. You should have went on there on a segment to promote your business as a guest, as, you know, Ask Wendy or something like that, or whatever the case may be. Don't go on a segment that is literally to find a date for a Wendy. And she has said, I want to find a date, and then try and clown her on Page Six. That to me was just, Michael showed his butt when he did that. Yes, Wendy has some issues. Yes, she can be problematic. But I think in that particular situation, he was dead ass wrong. And if you were only going in there to promote your business, you didn't have to badmouth her and clown her in Page Six after. You just could have been like, you know what? We went on a couple dates. It was great. I live so far away. She lives in New York. Looking forward to staying friends. Keep it classy. He didn't have to clown her. Like, to me, that was just really disrespectful. Hey, Tamara, equally yoked. Yes, exactly. Equally yoked. You need to find someone who is on your level, spiritually, emotionally, all of that stuff. And if it's not financially, someone who has a generous spirit, you know, because you could be married to a billionaire and they're stingy. Because just because somebody has money doesn't mean they're willing to share it with you. So you have to be really, really careful. And that's why there's also that saying, if you marry for money, you'll be paying for the rest of your life. So yes, you want to find someone who's financially stable and can make sure that he's able to provide for you and your family. But the foundation of that still has to be love and a true friendship between two people, because someone could either, and you also hear those stories, right, about let's do some relationship lives, because now I'm getting all into this. We'll do some relationship lives, right? Because then you also have people who, you hear those stories where it's like the woman supported the man through medical school or through law school, and then once he got his practice open and was making money, he left her for the secretary, you know, or like whatever it is. He left her for Becky. He left her for the next, you know, Portia Williams or whatever. You know what I mean? So you have those stories too, where you were the ride or die. You held him down. You supported him to get to where he was. And then when he got somewhere, you were the first one to get the boot. So you have that too. So it really is important to make sure that at the foundation is a true friendship and a true love and commonality and want to create a life together. Hey, P, at Farronda, she said Eve's husband is a white billionaire and Alex Serena's husband is a millionaire. Yeah, Eve's husband is a billionaire with a B. No, that one is for sure. Definitely. Okay, let's see. Okay. These chats go so fast, so give me some grace, you guys, as I get the next one coming up. Okay. Hey, Yellow Major. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Either way, it's beautiful. So I'm watching this show, and I want to know your opinion on a trans woman. Okay. I want to know your opinion. A trans woman, okay, threw a drink on a gay man, and the gay man fought her. Do you think he was right? Do you think he was in the right or in the wrong because he hit a woman? Okay. I think that he was in the wrong because he hit a person. So I don't believe in violence regardless of the sexual identity. So whether or not you identify as a man or whether or not you identify as a woman, you shouldn't put your hands on anybody. And I also think that whether or not you identify as a man or you identify as a woman, you shouldn't be throwing drinks on another person. So to me, when I look at a person, I always look at them as a human being, and all of us deserve equal respect. So if it was a cis woman, like a woman who was like I don't want to say anything that's incorrect. So if I do say something that's incorrect, forgive me. I don't mean any harm by it. So if a woman who was naturally born a woman, I don't know if that's the correct term. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but my heart is in the right place. So if there's a woman who is naturally born a woman, threw a drink on a straight man and the straight man hit her, I would think that is wrong. If a naturally born man threw a drink on another man and the man hit him, I would still think that is wrong. But I would also think that the woman throwing a drink on the man was wrong. And I would also think that the man throwing a drink on a man was wrong. So to me, regardless if you are trans, straight, gay, bi, queer, questioning, keep your hands to yourself and keep your drink in your cup. Because the moment you throw a drink in someone's face, even though you're not physically hitting them, you're putting yourself in a position to get popped. You know what I mean? You're putting yourself in a position to get hit. I don't think men should put their hands on women, and I don't think women should put their hands on men. Everybody, regardless of your sexual organs and or sexual orientation, keep your hands to yourself. If you are in a position where you are so angry, where you feel like you need to throw a drink on someone, walk away, de-escalate, remove yourself from the situation. You know what I mean? Women, we don't get passes. Men, you don't get passes. Trans, you don't get passes. We're all human beings. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your drink in your cup. If something is about to pop off, leave. That is how I feel. I think it was wrong because he hit another human being. That's how I feel about it. Humans, people to people, you don't have the right to put your hands on someone. But just because you are a woman or you identify as a woman, that does not give you the right to throw your drink in someone's face as well. So that's how I feel, just given that context. I don't know what the gay man said or did. I don't know the background story. So if there's more to it than that, my position might change. But on a gut level, woman or man, gay or straight or trans, keep your hands to yourself. If something is going on, if you're being disrespected, before you throw your drink and you put yourself in a line of fire, get your ass up and walk out. That is what I would say to that. Hey, her and Megan Good. Yes, Megan Good definitely got the come up. What's her husband name? He's like the preacher, director, producer guy. What is his name? They did the book together. I think it was called The Wait, because they were being celibate together. But no, he's great. And he sounds like the real deal. You know what I mean? He sounds like the real deal. At P, she also said that about Serena's husband. Millionaire, billionaire, they're all rich, you guys. Hey, Tamara, Sarah stopped dating bad boys and being a pick-me. Exactly. And that would it go. And it's so funny how this all goes back full circle, right? All back full circle, where you stop dating bad boys. You stop dating just because you need a warm body. You stop being a pick-me and you choose self-love, and you put yourself energetically in a position to attract quality men because you love yourself and you choose yourself, and you don't come from a place of desperation. You come from a place of self-love and confidence. That's when you put yourself in position to level up. 100%. Hey, Pete, Russ bought her catalog. CC owns her own music. That is beautiful. Russ, if you have a twin, let a girl know. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. That is so sweet. For real. Young Rich. I feel like Kirk Franklin did something to that boy when he was younger. That's what I heard, though. You know what? You're right. Allegedly, there was something that was going on, whether it was like physical abuse or sexual abuse or emotional abandonment, because he was saying how like he used to be with the family and then something happened. Like, I think you're right, because I do think something happened to him, and I think there's some type of cover up. And then Kirk Franklin's wife looked really strange and weird. And remember, that's the boy from his first, not even marriage. I don't think they were married. I think that they were like sweethearts as teenagers and they had a kid together. But that was a wife from his previous relationship. I'm sorry, that was the child from his previous relationship. So from the previous relationship, that was the child that he brought into his new marriage. And so maybe there was something weird there where he felt like the odd man out. You know, dad has a new wife. Now dad is like this big star making all this money. Now they have their own kids together. Maybe he kind of felt like odd man out, and something went weird from there. At 40 million versus Serena's 210 million. It's fine. Okay, Young Kirk, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let's see what you guys are saying. At Keisha, he's around 70 million. And then Keisha says, I thought we said Eve's husband is the billionaire. Is he? I always thought Eve's husband was a billionaire. I always thought that. I mean, we can go back and check, but that's what they've always said. So, yeah. Yeah, credit you on Big Brother, then. You have the personality. Aww. Yeah, I would do something. I'll see. And I live in LA, so I might as well get cast in something, right? Maybe I'll do like a TV show or something. That'd be fun. Definitely. You guys, we've been on here for 2 hours. So if you're having a kiki, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to support, the Cash App info is down there. But I'm just having a ball. And thank you for spending this time with me. So Tamara says the common denominator for Sierra, Serena, and Eve seems to be the men love the women more and had a fear they would mistreat them if they will lose them. Yes, I love this point. I always think that the man has to love the women a little bit more for the relationship to work. I agree with that 100%. And it goes back to what I was saying, how the Wendy Williams show was like shooting your shot goes wrong, and how like the sperm chases the egg. Like, you really have to, like, the man has to always be in pursuit mode. Like, even if you've been married, I think, for 30 years, I think the man still has to be pursuing you. You have to be going on your date nights. He has to be giving you gifts and, like, sweet things. I don't mean, like, spending millions and gazillions of dollars. Like, not like that, guys. You know what I mean? But just, like, bringing you flowers, you know, on if you had a hard day or if you had a good day. You know, just being thoughtful and treating you well and being kind and with respect. I think that really boils down to when the guy is scared of losing you. And I think the only way to make a guy fearful of losing you is when you make yourself the prize, when you know your worth and you know your value and you are the prize and you are like, you have to earn the prize, right? So when you know that you're the prize and you are willing to walk away if you don't like what is being served, if you don't like how you're being treated, and you are willing to walk away, and a guy knows that, then the guy has the incentive to treat you well and to do better and to respect you. Because if he can do whatever he wants and you're always going to be there, then what incentive does he have to show up for you fully? Because he doesn't have to. And he doesn't make people bad or mean people. It's just human nature. If someone could get the same result doing the bare minimum, then they're probably going to do the bare minimum. But if there's a certain result they want to get, and they know that there's a standard that they must meet in order to get it, then they will work extra hard to meet that standard to get the prize. So you could have the same prize. You could have a beautiful, loyal, wonderful woman. You could either do one or two things and you know she's always there, or you would have to do 5 or 10 things and know she's always there. Human nature is, I'm going to do the bare minimum. So have standards, know you're the prize, make him chase you, and he has to love you a little bit more. So true. Hey, Keisha. Yes, he was picked by Wendy on her dating segment. Exactly. So I'm like, Michael, if you went on her dating segment for a come up and you knew it was a dating segment, don't go and try and clown her in page 6. Like, to me, that's just a cornball, cheesy move. P, that's terrible. Yeah, exactly. That is terrible. Very, very terrible. P says, good point at Tamara. Yeah, good point, Tamara. Ridiculous. Hey, Farah. So Farah Rhonda says, I love my Black men, but sometimes it's a struggle for them to commit. From my experience, their counterparts are more decisive, and if they want you, not afraid to say so. No reading tea leaves. Yeah. It goes down back to that, to Black men, white men, yellow men, purple men. I think just in general, when it comes to dating, it is so much more attractive to be with a man who makes it clear that you are his choice and that you are a priority. And it's that unhealthy, hot and cold, on and off, up and down, struggle to commit that drives people crazy and drive people insane. But I think sometimes when you have come from, maybe even not, but maybe so and maybe not. But if you come from an unstable childhood, that hot and cold, that push and pull is familiar. And sometimes that felt like love. Oh, they're being hot now. Oh, they're on now. That they love me. Oh, they're cold. They're off now. I need to do everything to prove my love, to prove that I'm worthy of love, to show them that I'm lovable. So that struggle love, that unhealthy dynamic sometimes is what is familiar. And so then in adulthood, we will follow that same pattern because that's what we know. Sometimes that happens, not all the time and not all the cases. But Farah, I agree with you 100%. I've dated guys in the past who, was fearful of commitment, 100% end one day, 50% end the next, blah, 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 blah. And never again saying, right now I'm on my Sierra, Eve, Serena, come up. No more struggle love. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I agree with you. I've dealt with the same exact thing. P, yes, at Fairmont, that's been my experience too. Mine too. I trust me. Everybody has played the fool, and I'm included in that 100%. Oh no, the comments are going fast again. 1 second, guys. I gotcha. Hey, Tamara. Yes, Farah, these men appear to be in all. Yeah, to be all in. Yes, exactly. And I'm telling you, there is no better love than confident, stable, committed love. When you know that your man is all in for you, that you are a true, you know what it is? It's when you found a teammate. You're on the same team working together for a common goal. To me, that's the most beautiful thing, is finding that teammate. That is what's up. Yes. Young Rich. Candy, I'm telling you now, you don't want relationship stories. I'm willing to admit I'm a hoot. Yes. Young, we're going to do some relationship live. I'm going to have you call in. And we are going to talk and we're going to cut up. Yes, we're going to do some relationship lives. Absolutely. Yes, we are. P, boundaries, honestly, know who you are and where the line is and must be mutual. Yes, boundaries keep you safe. Boundaries keep you safe, and you have to know what the boundaries are, and you have to know what the standards are. It's like, say you're a girl and you want the commitment, but your guy is just kind of on the fence, but you're still sleeping with him. What are your boundaries, right? He is violating your boundaries because you're letting him. If you're saying, I want a commitment, but yet you let him come over whenever he wants, you're sending mixed signals and your boundaries are unclear. So you have to have those boundaries. You have to know where the line is. If you say you want honest communication and he has a second phone that you don't know about, or you want him to respect you and he's still talking to his ex or whatever, like, you have to lay down those boundaries. You have to have standards, and you have to be strong enough and confident enough in who you are to walk away, or you'll become one of those J.Los where you stay in relationships because you're so fearful of being by yourself. The guy plays you and you just jump into another bed without doing any type of self-reflection or any type of work on yourself, and it's again, like, she jumped in bed with a man who left her and then married the next chick. Like, don't forget it. You know what I mean? Ben Affleck may seem like all wholesome rehab guy, which sounds weird, but that's kind of how you think about Ben Affleck, right? You kind of think of him as like wholesome Good Will Hunting, but yet he still has been, and this is no shade to anybody who has an addiction, obviously. That's no shade to that, but he's been in rehab for alcoholism. He's had gambling problems, but you also have to think about it. Jennifer didn't go to like a new guy. She didn't find new love. She went back to the ex who, when it was no longer a good look to be with her, right? Because back in the day, low-key racism and high-key racism exists. And I think back in the day, what she really meant by, and he has said this too in interviews, but it was too public, was there was some type of low-key racism going on. Like, oh, Jenny from the block, Jenny who was just with P. Diddy doing shootouts in the club. Remember, she broke up with him after some shootout that happened or something like that. I might not have the exact details, but like something weird happened. There was some type of shootout or something happened that was really with Puff Daddy and J.Lo, and she broke up with him. So there was some talk of like how she was no longer a good look for him. And if you think about it, he broke up with her. Then he went with Jennifer Garner, who was like wholesome apple pie America. Jennifer Garner is like, picture perfect, Miss America. Got with her, married her, and had children with her. Jen is going back to the man who left her and married the next chick. I'm sorry. I could not go back to a man who dumped me because it wasn't a good look, married literally the next chick, and had a complete whole family with her. I couldn't do it. Stars, they're just like us. Psych, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Hey, at Tamara, throwing a drink is an assault as well. Yeah, throwing a drink is an assault. That's right. That's why I'm saying, like, everybody just has to be careful. P, bi a woman is a term I've heard used. It is. Terrified to say, I don't know that. Sorry about that. To say bi a woman. Okay, so bi a woman. It's like biological woman. Okay, bi a woman. Cool. Young Rich, don't start, now won't be none. Exactly. Don't start, now won't be none. So it's like trans, gay, straight, cis, whatever you are, don't assault someone, either with your hands, with your words, or with an object, like throwing something at them. You know what I mean? Be mindful of your words. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't throw things at people. If a situation is escalating, let me tell you, your life, whether it is actual threat to your life, because people out here have guns, they have knives, they have bombs. We are living in a whacked out world. People go out here and shoot people up for no reason. There is like a mass shooting every other day in America. People shoot you literally for no reason. So don't give anybody a reason. Your life is important and meaningful than being right in an argument or in a fight. So if you find yourself in an argument or a fight, try to find some type of moral calmness or not moral, like inner calmness to walk away. Because people will hurt you for no reason. Throwing a drink in your face is giving them one. So just be careful. Just be careful and protect your life over anything else. Hey, at Farwanda, at cis person equals identifies as the gender they were assigned with at birth. Yeah, so cis. Yeah. So like a man assigned cis at birth. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. At P, agreed. As a woman, I never assume I won't get hit back, especially by a man. Girl, same. I don't play that. I can't, because I can't fight. I'm like, leave me alone. Like I'm doing it. I can't. Yeah, I never assume I won't get hit back. Exactly. But again, you cannot assume people are going to just take a hit without retaliation. Exactly. It's like if you throw a drink at someone's face, no matter how angry you are, just because you are a woman, trans, cis, bi, whatever, you can't assume you're not going to catch a smack. You can't assume it. So I just would rather not put myself in a situation to have to throw a drink. And I don't want to put myself in a situation to have to guess if whether or not I'm about to get smacked and my ass beat. At Cereals clapping. Yes. Young Rit says, or throw a drink back, don't hit, ha. Yeah. Or just, just don't fight. Don't fight. Just don't fight in general. You know what I mean? Because you could throw a drink, maybe the glass shatters. You never know. You just never know. If you like the show, like this video. Okay, P says, bi a woman or cis women are both fine. They both mean birth as a woman. Okay, thank you guys. See, I'm getting educated. Miles Kidman says, Kirk used to go to my cousin's church in Dallas. You guys were getting some tea. And the pastor of that church at that time is in jail for R, so birds of a feather. Wow. I mean, I didn't hear it, but I believe it. I believe it. There is corruption everywhere. Headline, rapper Eve and her billionaire husband Maximilian Coopers. Yes, I'm telling you, Eve's husband is a billion with a B. He is a billionaire because he either founded or co-founded Reddit, and Reddit is worth a crap ton of money. He is a billionaire, and I know some people in the comments said that Serena's husband isn't, but I always heard that he was, but I'm not sure. I'm going to go back and research. So that could be true. But I know Eve for a fact husband is a billionaire. That I know for sure. Farah, according to Celebrity Net Worth, Eve's husband Maximilian Cooper is worth $60 million. Good enough for me. Well, I always heard he was a billionaire, but $60 million or $1 billion, I don't care. I am with you, Farah. I am with you. Good enough for me too. Girl, I am with you on that. At Miles. Oh, you guys. Okay. These are going so fast. Let me get back to where we were so I don't miss anybody's. Okay. At Ferrando, you're a good fact checker. Yeah, I love it. Yes. At Tim Dawkins, agreed. Yes. You guys are coming through with the tea and the facts. Thank you. At Mellow Drew, I'm a man and I date men. And if I'm in a relationship with a guy and he don't spoil me the way I'm spoiling him, there's a problem because I'm more than just a bang. Yes, exactly. So I'm so happy you said that because I can speak from my experience as a heterosexual woman. So thank you for sharing your experience with us. So you are male and you date men. And if you're in a relationship with a guy isn't spoiling you the way you spoil, there's a problem. Exactly. It has to be a mutual, like, spoiling and loving and all that stuff. It has to be there. I agree with you because it can't just be one person taking care of the other person and it's not a mutual benefit. And it also can't be like just a hit it and a quit it. Like nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants to be a hit it and a quit it. Like nobody wants that. Hey, Tamara, old wives' tale, but why buy the cow and get the milk for free? Exactly. If you are just giving it up and he has no incentive. He has no incentive to buy. Hey, beautiful at B Stoke Styling. Hey, 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 chat. Yes, come through, honey. You are gorgeous. Come through. Love it. Ooh. These chats are going so crazy. Okay, let's find another one. At Cereals, yep, I like women who keep it pushing onward and upward. A breakup should not break you. Yeah, yes. Well, this is the thing. I agree that a breakup shouldn't break you, and you should definitely keep it moving and onward and upward. But there's a difference. But that's the key: onward and upward, not just onward. So to me, onward is yes, being able to date again and do all that stuff. But to me, upward is doing the internal work to heal and to get through it. And I don't care who you are. If you are telling me that you were engaged to a man for years, publicly engaged, a very high public engagement, your children and his children were enmeshed as a blended family. And then it came out in the tabloids that he was texting and trying to do sexting with this other woman very, very publicly. You really want to tell me that you don't need to take a beat to deal with all of that? Not just your own pain, but your children's pain, because your children has grown to love this man. Your children has grown to love this man's children. So you're not even going to give your children a moment to heal and wrap their head around that their life is now going to look different. So yes, onward and upward. You don't let a breakup break you, but there has to be some acknowledgement of some healing and understanding and reflection, if not for you, then for your kids, because that is confusing for a child. So daddy A-Rod isn't going to be stepdaddy anymore, and his kids aren't my siblings anymore. Oh, now I have a new step siblings, Ben's kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. At Mellow Drew, that part. Woohoo! Sarah says, priest plus like. Yes, press the like button, y'all. We about to wrap it up soon, though. We've been on here for 2 hours and 21 minutes. So we are going to wrap it up. But I'm telling you, I will be back tomorrow. At Mellow Drew, would you break up with someone if you found out they did OnlyFans or did adult entertainment in the past? No, that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me if they were honest with me about it, not like they got exposed and were forced to tell me. Two different things. So this is the thing. And you never know why people have to do what they have to do. I don't judge people. I'm not critical. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't date anybody who is currently doing entertainment or OnlyFans. If they're using OnlyFans for like nudes and sex and all that stuff and adult entertainment, if they were currently doing it, then no, I wouldn't date them. If they kept their past hidden, that would be a bigger conversation. But I'm not going to judge anybody. And you never know what somebody's circumstances were or what they came through or had to do to survive. So I'm not going to judge anybody for that. But as long as somebody is being honest and truthful and transparent and they're not currently doing it, we can have the conversation. P, agreed, Candy. I should also say you should also find time to heal. I need to add that. Yes, you have to find the time to heal. 100% at Juanita Badil. Great show. Thank you. I hope I said your name right, Juanita. It is beautiful. Thank you. Yes, so if you guys like the show, like, subscribe, and share. There is support for Cash App and PayPal only if you want to. But I love you guys. Hey, my. Thanks, Candy. You are welcome. Serial says, I think J.Lo is caught up in the Hollywood machine. Yes. Probably. And with that, you guys, we are going to call it a day. Thank you, everyone who joined. I love you guys. And yes, I will be back tomorrow. You guys can always email me or comment or whatever you if you want me to cover something, we can do it. But we'll be back tomorrow, cutting it up and kikiing. So please like, subscribe, and share. I should be monetized very, very soon. But in the meantime, you can always support with a Cash App or PayPal, only if you want to. So until next time, guys, be well. I love you. Take care of yourself. Don't throw drinks on nobody. Gay, straight, cis, bio, trans, rainbow. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep the shade fun. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah! See you tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.